Okay, so you were shooting some footage on your Canon camera, Canon R10, whatever, and you shot in HDR PQ, and you don't know how to color grade it. Well, guess what? I'm going to teach you how to do it in like 4-5-ish minutes, because I actually have to leave soon. So this is how you color grade Canon R10 HDR PQ footage. All right, first I'm going to assume that you already downloaded the footage off your camera, off your SD card, onto your computer, and you have it in a file, and you made a project folder in DaVinci Resolve. So first step, done. Second step, bring your footage onto your timeline. Next, after you brought your footage onto your timeline and you can scrub through it, go to the color tab, press on that. Now here, we're gonna make 2 nodes. We already have 1 node and we're gonna make 2 more. So go over to your keyboard. It's different if you're on Windows, but for Mac, it is Option S. Option S. So you're gonna do 2 of those. Option S twice. That's 2 new nodes. Next, go over to the effects tab and you're gonna go look for color space transform. This one right here. You're gonna drag that onto your first node and drag it onto your last node. Now, go over to your first node and you're gonna see these options on the right. Under color space transform, go to input color space, press that, scroll down to Rec 21. Now, iPhones, they're Rec 2020. Other cameras are typically Rec 709, but we're in Rec 21. Then go to input gamma, scroll all the way down until you find this ST2084. This is what we got to press on. Boom. Now you're out of that like grayed out, desaturated look into a colorful image, but we're not done. Then under output color space, go press on that, go to DaVinci wide gamut, press on that. Then on your last one, output gamma, go all the way down to DaVinci intermediate. So basically we just took our color and our image and we added some color to it and we put it in the right color format, whatever. And then we're putting it back into DaVinci Resolve's wider range that we can edit in. So after you've changed those settings, then go to your last node, press on that, and you have the same 4 options. And what we're gonna do is on the first 2, we're gonna change the first one to DaVinci wide gamut. And then the second one, we're gonna choose DaVinci intermediate. So now we're working in a much wider range of editing. Everything is gonna give us way more flexibility to change and tweak the color, the saturation, all of it. And then for the output color space, we're gonna press on this. We're gonna say Rec 709. So now we're outputting Rec 709. And for the output gamma, we're gonna go to gamma 2.4. This is the standard for every monitor. So now we are done with our first and last node. You can already see that the before and after, we go from very desaturated, does not look good, to already looking 10 times better, and that is because I lit this shot really well. But we're gonna do even more tweaking because there's still some things in the skin tones that I don't like. So what I do is I take our first node and I drag this over here. I'll take a last node and I'll drag this over here. Now I'm gonna take this node, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna press Option S 2 more times. So that gives us 2 more nodes. And whenever I'm color grading, I like to have everything separate. So the first node is going to be the lighting, the contrast. This is going to be separate from any color changes I do, any masking I do. We're just going to go over here. We're going to look at our scopes, our waveforms to see kind of how bright everything is. We don't have anything that's like true black. I guess some of these really dark shadows are really dark. We don't have anything clipping. All of our highlights are fine. So that's awesome. But I like to exaggerate them a little bit more. So we're gonna go over here, enable splines. This is gonna allow us to then press on the corners, these circles, and get these extra circles to then bring up some of these highlights and then bring down some of these shadows. And I even do this, a little S curve. This is just a little bit nicer. It's not a big detail, but when you already have a nice looking image that you don't have to do a lot to, it's not about doing big changes. It's about just tweaking the little things to make it look exactly how you want. And for the most part, the color is already where I want it. The white balance is perfect. So the only other thing that I might do is I'll go to the second node, and this might be exclusively on DaVinci Resolve Studio. However, press on this, then I can go over to skin tones. And this is really gonna pull all of the orange colors. You can even see it if I go over to my vector scope. So very crushed orange, very crushed blues, way oversaturated colors, but that's in camera because I have these colors already super saturated, which is fine by me. because that means that all of this stuff in here is not oversaturated, and all the stuff in here is like my shirt, my face, my skin tones, all that's fine. So I'm gonna crush these oranges a little bit more because I'm gonna add a little bit more shadow to the skin tones. You can actually see how much that's doing, and I don't want it to be that crushed, so I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit right there, and I'm gonna bring this up. You can even see that's too much. My face is not even doing too much, but that corner is doing too much. So I'm gonna bring it back down just a little bit, and then what I'll do instead is I'm gonna go over to the HDR. I'm just gonna change the global just a little bit, just to add a little bit more life into my skin tone, and that already feels a lot better. It's a lot more purple over here, but my skin tones are feeling a lot better, and I'm not too mad about the color change over here. So that is just a really quick way to take your HDR footage from no saturation to looking at least decent, and then from there you can really build whatever you want. But knowing that you're shooting an HDR PQ, you probably already understand that you probably have some limitations to your camera, so being very careful about the noise that you're getting in the image is very important. But now at least you know how to do a Rec. 709 conversion, so congratulations.